Hey guys, Kenny here, Ken Small Engines. This video isn't about small engines, it's about central air conditioning and an issue my daughter had. She had just bought a house about seven months ago, probably 10 miles from here. The house is built in like 2000, so not that old. Anyway, she was going to have a party on a Saturday for her students. She's a high school English teacher. Kids were graduating or whatever it was, and she wanted to have a little get-together with some of the seniors. So she invited them over, but she wanted to have her house nice and cool and everything in case they had to come inside, use the bathroom, whatever. So she decided to turn the central air on. Well, I get a phone call the next morning saying, the whole utility room is wet. Here's a few shots of the wetness that I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see, there's water emanating from somewhere. Okay, there's water all around, but their whole room was full of water. They had towels and everything. I mean, it was really like flooded just from running this air conditioning overnight. So I called up my friend Rich, who's HVAC guy, and we're talking about different things on this furnace slash AC unit and, trouble codes and things like that. It's all digital or whatever, and nothing was really making sense. So he asked me, is the drain draining, the condensate drain? So I told my daughter, I said, go outside and see if the drain's draining, because I have central air in my house, and I make sure that the central air, when I first start it, the drains are clear, because sometimes you get mud daubers and bugs and everything block spiders. They block the drain. If you block the drain, you get a big water leaks all over your attic or wherever your air handler is. My daughter just happens to own a house on a slab, so it's technically on the first floor in a utility room, so there's no basement or anything to flood, but the room itself flooded. Anyway, here's a picture excuse me, here's a picture of what the condensate drain line looked like. So as you can see, the condensate line, whoever installed it, went from the 3/4 plastic pipe to a nipple, a reducing fitting that went from the 3/4 down to like a 1/4 inch ID tube. And while I guess over the years it's been fine, I said to myself, let me see if there's anything, in the way clogging it or backing it up or whatever. So I proceeded to, thankfully it was using like Teflon tape on the fitting. I unscrewed it, took off the hose, unscrewed it, and sure enough, inside the little adapter that went to the 1/4 inch tube was full of just, I call it schmutz, just dust, dirt, garbage, debris, whatever. And the fitting, if you notice from the photo, was at, like a positive angle, like the water had to come down the pipe, build up to drain out, when it should have been just straight down. So I said, okay. I took the fitting off, I saw the junk, I said, instead of putting it back, my friend Rich suggested that I plumb 3/4 all the way outside. It shouldn't be reduced. So I said, let me just see if this thing's draining. So anyway, I took that 3/4 pipe coming out of the air handler area, and I pointed it straight down with a bucket underneath. And take a look at this photo. Look at the water coming out now. So that's good. Hopefully that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can imagine that doing it for all night long. So significantly more water coming out than what my kids saw outside, because the fitting itself had garbage in it. It wasn't allowing it to drain. It built up in the condensate pan, was overflowing, went down the electronics and everything, and went all over the floor and flooded out her room. So just a note, forget the expensive repairs and electronics and all that. Check your condensate drains. In my daughter's case, there's only one drain that goes from the condensate pan outside. And whoever installed it, don't ask me why, maybe they didn't want to drill a 1-inch hole for the 3/4 inch plastic pipe. They reduced it to a 1/4 inch Tygon tubing. Now, you need that 3/4 inch. You need all that to get it out there and get it out there fast. So just a word to the wise. If you see water all over your attic or your utility floor where your furnace is, from your central air, from your coils and all that, don't go crazy, make sure your condensate drains are free. I check mine every year before I even start up the air. I blow them out just to make sure they're good. There's 2 on mine. So check those. It's been almost a month now since we did that. And, knock wood, she hasn't had any issues. The air's working good. It's draining good. The only thing we have to do is she has a 5-gallon pail that she's trapping the water in each day, and she empties it out. And it probably goes through a 5-gallon bucket a day of condensate. So we're going to plumb it outside. But right now it's 100 degrees. I'm not doing anything. So check your drain lines for your condensate on your central air. Hope this helps someone. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Take it easy.